Good morning. It's Jessie with Shine Yoga. We're going to go over our little housekeeping first. So consult with the doctor before starting any new exercise program. During a sequence today, don't force it. You want to be comfortable. Usually about a 75% stretch, not like pushing in till you're having pain. Definitely no pain. Really check in with your body frequently. The yoga is all about honoring your body. So we don't honor it by trying to force it to do a bunch of stuff it doesn't want to do. When you're in the studio, we will have a waiver for you to sign. But since this is online, continuing from here serves as your waiver where you won't hold Shine accountable for any injuries or anything that happens like that. So now let's get started. All right, so our thought for today comes from Prayers from the Heart, a gift from Kyla several years ago for Mother's Day. Be of good courage, and he shall strengthen your heart, all you who hope in the Lord. Psalm 31:24. So probably about 10 times a day I get nervous about something, and that's a good scripture to hide in your heart and say, okay, be of good courage. God's got you, all right? So all of that, we're gonna start with a low back kind of focus today for our pal Leslie. All right, so we're going to start with our sun salutes because they just get the energy flowing, the body moving, kind of work out the kinks. And we'll start with our big inhale up, reach up, look up. Exhale, we swan dive down to our forward fold. And then we plant our hands and we'll step back with our right foot into a runner's lunge. We'll step back with our left foot into our downward dog. And when we get here, we're going to kind of bend the knees and really shoot the tailbone to the sky. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. So we'll bend the knees, bring the tailbone up so that we've got that nice long spine and we're not rounded out up here, okay? And then start to soften the ankles, maybe straighten the legs. But again, don't force it. Just go where it feels kind of good. All right, now from our down dog, we'll move into a plank. Lower the knees and lower your body. When we come down to the mat, we'll point our toes and push with our arms, coming up just as far as comfortable in your low back. It may not be all the way up, it may, but you want to make sure your shoulders aren't jammed up by your ears, that you got plenty of long neck here. Then we'll come back to hands and knees, flip the toes under, and come back to our down dog. And then we'll walk our feet up to our hands or bring the hands back to the feet, whichever your balance likes best. Going back to our forward fold. And with our fold, we kind of keep our back flat and put our ribs on our thighs, put our hands down, drop our head, then we start to straighten the legs, again, just as far as they will go. Inhale, we come halfway up with our back flat. Exhale, we fold over again, and then as we inhale, we reach up and look up, and exhale, we bring our hands down to the heart in prayer. Coming back to the top of the mat, if you got way back there like I did. All right, I want to do another sun salute to get that low lunge on the other side. Inhale up. Exhale, swan diving down with our flat back into our forward fold. Now we'll step back with our left foot to our runner's lunge. Step back with our right foot to our down dog. Come on out to a plank. Lower our knees, lower our body. And when we get to the mat, point the toes. As we inhale, we come up only as far as is comfortable for our back. Exhale, come through to hands and knees, flip the toes, back to down dog. And walking it back up to our forward fold, or walk the hands back to the feet, whatever your balance likes. Drop the head, breathe, stretch. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. And then big arm sweep up again, coming up with our flat back. Reach up, look up, Bring the hands down to the heart in prayer. Come back to the top of our mat. And here's where we're going to check in again, all right? So let's just go to mountain pose. So I'll turn sideways so you can kind of see my plumb line. We've got our knees over our ankles, but don't lock them out. Just kind of make them straight, okay? Hips over the knees. We'll kind of push that thigh back a little and bring our shoulders over our hips. Now that's a little more arch than I need to have or want to have. If it's comfortable for you, if that's where your body stacks up, don't, again, honor your body, don't force it. But for me, I'm gonna tuck my tail just a little bit, like not really tuck it, draw the tailbone down toward the earth. All right, so now you see how it straightened it up a little, but I'm not like tucked, right? All right, so then we'll do shoulders over hips, ears over shoulders, and we're gonna kind of lift from the back of the head. So a lot of times people have this posture and then they go to bring it back by doing something like this. And we want it to be long and here. And it's much more comfortable and more, you know, natural for the body. So here we are in mountain. If your balance is good this morning, go ahead and close your eyes. If you close your eyes and you felt like, then leave them open, you know. And we'll take a breath in and out. And then check in with your body. If you're feeling pretty good, if we got the blood flowing, we're breathing, all the things. Keep breathing. And we'll open the eyes, and we're gonna work on like kind of warming up the core here, all right? Glenn Thompson, if you're watching, I know you hate when I say core. So we're gonna work with the abdominal muscles and like our multifidus, our back muscles, our deep muscles. But for the rest of you, it's our core, okay? So we're gonna, as we inhale, we're gonna kind of let the chest blow up and the belly, all right? So we inhale, our belly gets big. As we exhale, let's take our belly button and pull it in toward the spine. And you can feel like if you tighten that muscle or contract, activate it as you're pulling in, it kind of helps blow the air out in your exhale, okay? So let's do a few of those. Inhale, big belly. Exhale, draw the belly in. Good. And I mean, I can feel my little back muscles already starting to activate as I try to pull that in standing with my breath. So if you can feel that too, that's good, okay? Doesn't mean you're doing the wrong thing. Inhale, big belly. Exhale, pull belly button in. Feel all the core muscles turn on. Neat, huh? Inhale, big belly. Exhale, draw in. Do two more at your own breath pace. Now what's great about the body is it can be trained, right? So when we stop using something, the body's super efficient. It's like, she never uses that. Turn it down. Turn it off. She don't care about that. And when we say on purpose, no, I want to use these, it starts turning them back on, sending energy there. Oh yeah, that is still important. We were wrong. Turn it back on. You know, so we want to turn on these muscles to keep that spine stable. All right. So now, fun times. We're gonna draw our belly button in like we did. Get that little transverse abdominis turned on, and then we're gonna do a glute squeeze. So we're gonna squeeze our buns together. All right, and then relax. And inhale. Big belly. Exhale, draw the belly in, and then add a butt squeeze, all right? Inhale, big belly. Exhale, draw belly in, add the butt squeeze. Now, the glutes are keep going at your own breath. The glutes are very important for walking and holding you up. They're like really connected with the back. So we need glute strength here as well, and we'll do some more stuff for the glutes. But we want to just turn them on, tell the body, hey, we're about to use this, okay? All right, and now we're gonna do a chair pose or a fierce pose. So I'm gonna turn sideways where you can see. Every time I turn sideways, it's just so you can see usually. It doesn't mean you have to turn sideways. All right, so we're gonna line up our feet right under our hips. And then we're gonna kind of, not really arch, but kind of arch the back so that we keep it long instead of coming in round, all right? So do a little bit of a belly engagement, a little bit of an arch, and then we just stick our butt out behind us. So you can see my knee still kind of stays lined up with my ankle, and I'm not like pushing way over here. There's times that we do something like this, but that's not what we're doing today. All right, so we're gonna come here, stick the butt out, and then depending on what your shoulder's like, and see I've got a nice long back here, well, you can either put your hands on your hips, or you can bring them up here, or you can go ahead and bring them up in line with the head and the body. Fierce pose. All right. Now, if you've got your arms way overhead, we definitely want to be pulling the belly in. But you can really kind of curl in that upper back there, which is not something we normally do. We usually go the other way. Head up. You want long back, not rounding down. All right. No matter where the arms are, we want the head up. You can feel that. You can feel those muscles are definitely working in the back. And coming on back to mountain. Whew. Whew. We turned them on good. All right. So now we're gonna kind of plant our right foot here in the front, and we're gonna take our left foot like it's on skis here, and come right on back with it, and turn the foot out like 45 degrees. We're not going all the way out 90 here. It's not straight. It's right in the middle, okay? And then we make sure the hips are still pointed forward. As soon as you step back there, my hips like open up, but we want to make them still going forward. We'll bend that front knee, engage the belly here, and then again, choose your arm placement for a Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. And breathe. We're outside, so it's lovely fresh air. Even if you're inside in air conditioning, still take a deep breath and enjoy it. Now we're gonna I'm gonna turn sideways, you stay here. We're gonna blossom out, they say sometimes. So I'm here, I'm gonna take this left arm and bring it to the back. The right arm comes to the front, and we look over the right finger so that all this is lined. We got our ankle to knee, knee to sit bone, and here we go. And you want to make sure, what I see the most is people are doing this, or they're like this, you know, kind of. So you want to check in, are your arms even, and are you centered up still, all right? And don't let this knee cave in. You want the knee to be like more externally rotated. And we're gonna take an inhale, flip the palm, and reach up for a reverse warrior. And lowering down and straightening that knee. All right, so now we're gonna heel toe back together, come back to the top of our mat, plant the left leg, take the right leg back. All right, turn the foot out about 45 degrees, face forward with the hips, engage the belly, bend the knee, lift the arms. Back in our Warrior One. Got some perfect alignment I'm looking at right now, my little yogis. Okay, so now we're gonna blossom out to our Warrior Two, right? So we kind of come from here to here. We got our left leg forward and bent now, looking over the left fingers. Check our little alignment. And sometimes your back arm feels extra tired. And you can use your imagination, it's crazy, but it's gonna work. And pretend you're reaching way back and touching a wall or a shelf or something, and it's helping hold that up. And it'll feel lighter. Flip the front palm, inhale as we reach up, reverse warrior. And lower our steel toe it back together, and we come to the top of our mat. Now, you can just make your way down to the mat however you choose and get to your hands and knees, or we can do it through like a little bit of a vinyasa. So we'll inhale, reach up, stretch up, exhale, forward fold, step back to a down dog, and then come into hands and knees. From here, we're gonna do a little cat-cow, all right? So our cat-cow, we start in tabletop. So again, with our straight back, straight spine, neutral spine. And for our cow, we'll inhale, so we'll kind of broaden the chest here, and it'll help us with our inhale, and we'll tilt the tail and lift the head, so like our tailbone's going to the sky, so's our head, and the belly's headed to the ground. And then on the exhale, we reverse it. We draw the belly button up toward the spine, drop the head, tuck our tail for cat. Inhale, back to cow, head up, tail up, belly down. Moo. And exhale, pull the belly up. Use that to kind of lead us into an arch here like a Halloween kitty. Head down, tuck your tail, meow. One more inhale to cow, exhale to cat. So now that our cat has been represented, let's go for dog, right? We're gonna do a bird dog. So we're gonna take our right hand and our left leg and kind of get them out here where we get good and stable first, pull the belly in, and then lift. And we wanna lift so we're about even with the body. And you wanna make sure you're not rotating the spine, and lower it back down. Other side, engage that belly, reach out, and then lift. Good. And come back down. Not only do we not want to like do a big rotation as we do it, but also we don't want to really arch, okay? So try, if you can keep an eye on yourself somehow, try to keep that spine neutral. All right, let's do it again. Right arm, left leg, and down. And switch, left arm, right leg. And again, we're working the core here by pulling that belly in to stabilize. Switch, we're getting the front, and as we're using our glutes here, and our shoulders, we're getting everything. Lift. And back down. And I'm gonna come facing you this way. We're gonna go back to hands and knees. We're gonna take our right foot and kind of bring it up in front of us. Now you can use your hand to help you do this if you need to, but it's gonna come right in between your hands here. So this knee to ankle and hip to knee, all still lined up. And then we'll draw the belly in. If you need something under your knees, if it's just too hard, like the surface is hard, not like difficult, but go ahead and put that like a blanket or a pillow down there. Now we're gonna draw the belly in, inhale as we lift up. And then we'll take our right hand and grab our left wrist and kind of stretch to the side. Get us a nice side body stretch on the left. Back to center. We'll bring the hands down, and now we're gonna scooch that right foot up a little and bring that right hand inside of the foot so that we can do a lizard. So scooch the foot up, and then we'll drop the hip in the back so that we can get a stretch here, all right? And we'll keep our hands down. And if you want, once you get all settled, you can kind of let the leg come out, the right leg. And we breathe. And, make lizard faces. This is a pose that works on our hips a lot. Like, again, hips are really related to the back. Bring that knee in and kind of start coming up, and we'll take that leg back to our tabletop. Now we're going to take our other leg, bring it around to the front. Check up our alignment. Knee to ankle, hip to knee. Pull the belly button in. Raise up to like a kneeling lunge situation. And then we'll take our left hand, grab our right wrist, and get us a side bend over here. Coming back to center, place the arms, bring them down, and we'll scooch that left foot to the top a little bit farther. Bring the hand inside, lower the hips so we get the little stretch, and if you want, kind of let the leg come out. Lizard on the other side. Sound effects.
Nice.
I don't even have to play the nature sounds, they just happen. And bring that knee in, bring the leg back. As we come to hands and knees, we're gonna put our toes together, but our knees wide, and then sit back on your heels. Now if your knees are like, I don't wanna bend that hard, you can always put a block down and sit on it to keep that intense bend. Or put a blanket in between the knee and the leg to keep a little space. But if it's fine and your knees like it, then we'll just sit back, and then we'll walk the hands out and fold over into a child's pose. All right, so this one's not so much extension, like for the back is arched, but it's more of a flexion where we're rounded. If, again, the shoulders don't really like to be that far overhead, you are welcome to bring the hands down to your side. Alright, we're going to come to our belly now. So make our way down, go from hands and knees down to the front of our body. And we're going to take us a Sphinx pose here. So we'll put our elbows under our shoulders, kind of spread out the hands, point the toes out behind us. And if your back doesn't like to come up that high, like if this feels like too much of an arch for you, that's too much, you can always come down, but try and keep the neck long, all right? So you don't want to be jammed up like this. Pull the belly button in to support that spine, and if we can curl a little bit in the upper back, sometimes it feels better because we're not dumping everything in that, like, hinging at the low back. And we're gonna lower down and put our left cheek on the mat. Take our palms up and our arms down by our sides, toes together and heels apart. We wanna really kind of let the muscles around the tailbone rest. We're gonna lift our head and chest a little bit and bring our hands right under our shoulders. All right, so we're gonna do a little cobra, but we wanna first, don't just push it immediately with your hands. We're gonna set it up, all right? So we'll pull our shoulder blades together, engage there. And that'll let us lift a little bit higher our head and chest, still without pushing with our hands. Then we'll squeeze our glutes together. That'll get us living a little bit higher. Now, push with the hands, keeping everything else engaged, but only as high as is comfortable, all right? Take some breaths. Let the heart come through to the opposite side of the room and lower and down. We're gonna put our right cheek to the mat, palms up, arms by our side, toes together, heels apart. And bring the head back to center. We're gonna lift the head and chest again. And we're gonna leave our arms down where they are this time. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lift a little bit higher. Squeeze the glutes. And if you want, another option to lift the legs, all right? So we can be here, then here, and here. And if any of them don't feel good, go back to the last one that did, all right? I don't know if I'm the only person this happens to, but that Peter Pan song comes to my head every time. We can fly, we could fly, we could fly. And we're gonna come back to our child pose. So back to hands and knees, toes together, knees apart, fold over just to kind of counteract that arch, right? That extension. Now we have a little flexion. All right, we're gonna come now, make our way to sitting. Okay, so we'll start in our bent knee staff pose, right? So from the side looks like this. Knees are bent. We're gonna kind of hold on. There's like, I always call it a hamstring handle, but if you reach right here, like in the middle, and put your fingers in the middle of the, right behind your knee, off to the side, you can feel like your muscle where it attaches and stuff. So you can almost use that as a handle, but don't dig in too deep and shouldn't hurt. It should just be something you can feel, all right? So we'll use that to make sure we're up nice and tall. And then we're gonna pull the belly button in toward the spine and tilt back a little until we find our balance in boat, all right? So this is good. You're using your core here, all right? If you want, you can straighten the legs till they're parallel to the ground. If you want, you can let go with the hands. And at any time, you can come back to the one before. And roll forward. Now we're gonna go and do us a little bridge pose, okay? So we are just gonna roll back from here, all right? We're going to our boat, and we round the back and roll down, okay? So here we are on the floor, and we're gonna bring our feet up close to our behind so that when we lift, we still kind of have a good alignment from knee to ankle, right? When we get here, we're gonna pull the belly button in toward the spine, and we're gonna start to push with the feet to lift the hips up, and we're gonna squeeze the glutes to help us lift the hips up, okay? So a straight line from shoulder to knees is good, But if you start to lift and you get about here, and your body says, well, I feel like that's far enough, then that's okay, that's far enough. And then lower back down using just one vertebrae at a time, all right? And then really let go. When you get to the bottom, just like, okay. And we inhale, let's let our belly blow up. Exhale, pull the belly in. Start to push with the feet and squeeze with the buns until we get a nice bridge. And slowly lower down. And again, inhale, big belly, kind of arch the back. Exhale, flatten the back, draw in the belly. Start to push with the feet, squeeze with the glutes, so we lift up for a bridge. And slowly we lower down. Now from here, we're going to bring both knees up toward the chest. And then we're going to widen the knees out toward the armpits for a little happy baby. So we can reach behind the hamstrings and hold on and kind of put the bottoms of the feet toward the sky. Or if you can reach your feet and do like so. As you can see, we're outside near the road. Inevitably, someone drives by when we're doing Happy Baby. And here comes another one. That's okay, we don't care. It's beautiful out here. And we'll release the feet and bring the knees back down to the earth. We're going to put our arms out like a T here. And we're going to straighten out that right leg. And we'll take our right hand and put it on the left knee and kind of draw it across our body, leaving the left arm out and turning our head to look over the left arm. And we'll just hold here and breathe. We'll release that left knee and straighten the leg out. And now we'll take the left arm and hold it overhead. So we're kind of stretching out that side that we just twisted. And now we put our arms back to the T. We're going to bend the right knee, take the left arm, and draw that knee across, leaving the right arm out, and looking over that right shoulder. And breathe. And this is another one. You only want to go where it feels pretty good to go. Coming back to center. Straightening that leg. Now we take the right arm and hold it overhead for a little bit of a stretch. And then we're going to get our strap. All right, so we'll take our strap and we're going to stay lying down. Loop it around our left leg, keeping the right leg nice and long. All right, and we'll lift the left until our hamstring says, that feels pretty good, buddy. And that's as far as we want to go. Now we'll take both parts of the strap and put it in the left hand, taking the right out to the side to kind of counterbalance us. And we'll let this leg fall out to the left. Engage the core so that we can bring this leg back into center. Then we're going to lower it just a couple inches and switch hands with the straps so that we can cross over the midline here. And you can put that other arm out to the side, counterbalance. Back to center. We're going to go ahead and put the other foot in and let this left leg lay long. And then bring the right leg up as far as is comfortable. Put both parts of the strap in the right hand. Left hand goes out to counterbalance. Right leg opens up. Bringing it back to center, lowering down a little, switch hands with the strap, crossing over the midline. Back to center, we lower the leg, and we move our strap out of the way. We're going to do one last active asana, so we'll bend our knees again. We'll take our right leg and cross it over so that the ankle of the right leg is with the left knee, all right? And then we'll take our right hand and push that right leg away. Now if we want, we're going to thread the needle. So that means, and you can stay here, this is a great stretch. But if you're like, I also love to thread the needle, here we go. So we'll pick our left leg up and reach our right hand through the hole and then clasp hands behind the left hamstring and kind of pull that left knee toward us as we take the right elbow and push away the right knee. And this stretches a muscle that can sometimes go, well, it goes right beside the sciatic nerve. And in some people, it even goes, the sciatic nerve goes through the middle of it. So if this muscle gets tight and contracted, it can put some pressure on that nerve and cause some pain. So we want to keep this muscle strong but loose. And take it all down. Release the clasp, bring the feet down to the mat, and go to the other side. We cross the legs, take the left hand and push the left leg away. And if we want, we thread the needle. We pick up the right leg, reach through the hole, clasp around the right leg, draw the right knee toward us, push with that left elbow to push the left knee away. And release. We put both feet down to the mat, and then we straighten them out a little bit more than hip width apart. Let the feet just fall out to the side. Bring your shoulder blades under you, palms up, arms down, a little bit out from the body. Kind of rock the head side to side so that we get the tension out of the neck. Make sure it's elongated. And then we can close our eyes for Shavasana. Sometimes we do a meditation where we focus on every sense. Today, let's just focus on sound. Notice everything that you can hear in this moment. And it helps us to stay present in the moment. You notice yourself thinking. Don't judge it. Just say, oh, I was thinking. I'm going back to listening. We're going to go ahead and wiggle our fingers and toes. Now, if you're at home, you don't have to get up right now. You can stay in Shavasana a little longer. But when you're outside, after a while, you can start to think about ants. And the asphalt gets a little hard. So we're going to sit up and say namaste. But you feel free to stay in Shavasana.